Well, I started boxing at the age of 8. I was actually, me and my brother and I, my older brother, we were in a flag football team, and it was called Texas Adventure Camps here in Brownsville. And my dad was a huge fan of boxing. That's all he ever talked about. He wasn't a fan of football, soccer, nothing, just boxing. And he always talked about us, wanting to put us in boxing and everything, and he never got the opportunity. But there at Texas Adventure Camps, he saw on the very back there was this bag hanging. He was like, oh, he got real excited. He went to go ask. Turns out they had a boxing program there, and we started there ever since.
Hi, my name is Rodolfo Juarez, Rudy Juarez. I'm the owner here in RGV Elite Gym, and I'm Omar's dad. OMAR El Relampago Juarez's dad, and his trainer. Well, I started about 12 years ago. Like Omar told you guys, I've always been a big boxing fan. I did some amateur boxing when I was a kid, and just one day we passed by a Texas Adventure Camps, and we saw a boxing bag, a heavy bag hanging out of a tree, and it said boxing there, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna get these guys into boxing. And ever since, I mean, we went there, then we went to another gym, and we never stopped. I mean, we've been doing this for 11, 12 years now. It all started with my son, with Rudy, my older son, which he plays college football in Illinois, and he's the one that started it all. And then Omar started it. Then Omar started boxing after that.
Ever since I was smaller, my dad always told me, you're real fast. You know, your hands are lightning fast, and I wanted to be called Lightning. But he told me, hey, it sounds better, Relampago Juarez. You know, I have that last name. It sounds stronger. I was like, it sounds a lot better than Lightning, Relampago. Yeah.
What I saw in Omar in the beginning, I saw he was really fast. He was really fast. He didn't like to get hit. So when he was young, when he was very small, it looked funny, but it was, I saw it was effective in him. He was very shy and he was very scared of the sport. But that same mentality that he has of not getting hit is what's, getting him to be successful now, which his style of fighting is he hardly gets hit because he moves too much. He's a counter puncher, and that's what I saw in him. At first, he would cry, he would throw up before fighting. I mean, there was points where I wanted to give up on him when he was young. But then at 14 years old, that's when he started to win and started to really, well, that's when we saw that it was going to be good. It was all going to work out fine with him.
Yeah. It was a very bumpy road. I mean, going through wins, losses. I remember my first fight, I fell down and I started crying. It was a very bumpy road, but 120 amateur fights definitely got me that experience to become a successful pro with a high ring IQ.
Being a father and a coach, you can't be both at the same time. You gotta choose one or the other, because as a father, when your son is on the ring and he's getting hit, it's very hard. So I learned with the years and the experience how to be a coach when we're boxing, and then at home be a dad. Because when you're a coach, you see your fighter get hit, and you have to have nerves of steel. Just not. I mean, when you're a father, it's hard, and when you're a coach, well, that's your job, right? So that's what I do. I learned to separate both father and coach, because it's hard.
Well, that connection we have, it's always been the same. We've always been real close. But I remember before, he was a truck driver, so he wasn't here as much. So we had other coaches coach us around, but he didn't like the idea of that. So he wanted to follow his passion and become a coach. So then got off the truck, full-time coach with me and my little brother now. And ever since, we've been real tight. But my daily routine is I wake up in the morning, I'll usually run 4 or 5 miles, then I'll come here to the gym at 5:30, and all the way to 10 o'clock, I'll just be putting in work, perfecting my craft.
Yes, well, to us mainly school, right? It was always school first. And that's what I tell all the kids down here. When we have a bulletin board up there, and it's always about school first, guys, school first. Some of the kids, I ask them for their report cards. I want to see their grades, and that's the main thing for us, and a lot of discipline. It's a lot of talking, a lot of talking to him, you know, when we're driving wherever at home, you know, I talk to him, I tell him, hey man, we're doing this sport. You got to be 100%. I mean, you have to be dedicated, very dedicated. And Omar, he's seen what's came to him because of the sports. I mean, the dedication and the hard work. It's all paying off. You know, he you know, you guys saw today it's paying off for him. The hard work and dedication.
Well, my main goal in boxing is to be remembered when I leave this earth. To be remembered as, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent ideas. I want little kids to be like, I want to be like Omar Juarez. I want to be just like Omar Juarez. I want to be as great as Omar Juarez. I want to be greater than Omar Juarez. I want people to see me as the person that put Brownsville on the map. Because when I would go to tournaments, you know, I would tell people, I'm from Brownsville, Texas. They'd say, where? I tell them South Texas. They say, oh, okay, San Antonio. I'm like, no, south than that. Oh, okay, Corpus. Nobody really knows where Brownsville's at, and I want to be the first person to show everybody, you know, Brownsville's the home of Omar Juarez.
Yes, I'm very proud of him. But I can't really sit down and celebrate. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. I mean, this is just a new chapter of what he's done. He just fought a tough fight. His pro debut was tough. The guy was hard, and most fighters, they look for the knockout in their first fights, but this guy was tough. They told us he was gonna have a tough fighter. They want to test him because he got signed with a big company, Premier Boxing Champions, and they have the best of the best fighters. So they wanted to see what he had. So he came out with a win. He did good. He hardly got touched. He got touched with a few good shots, but he did good. You know, he won a unanimous decision, and that's how it went.
Well, yeah, I turned professional earlier this year. I had my last fight in May, and I got signed with a very big promotion company, Premier Boxing Champions, and I had my dad. Everything was the same. You know, he was my trainer. My mom ended up being the momager, and it was a family thing. But I got signed with Premier Boxing Champions, and I had my pro debut this past weekend, Ontario, California. And it was good. It was a good experience. I ended up coming up with a unanimous decision, and I'm ready to keep on going. That was just another win.
Well, he fought 120 amateur fights, 125, lost maybe 20 something fights, 30 fights, something like that. It's different. It's very different. I think the physical part, the professional is easier because you make weight. You make weight, a certain weight, just for one night. And in the amateurs, you got to maintain that weight for a week, fight every day, you know? It's different. Omar did good at the amateurs. He was a very good, elusive fighter. #1 in Texas at 141 pounds, Texas state champ, Texas Golden Glove champ. I think 4 or 5 national titles. He beat New Zealand's #1, their Olympian. He beat him. He was like 32 years old. He beat him last year here in Houston. And it's different. The professional, now we saw, with his first fight, he saw what it is to fight in the pros. It's very different. You have no headgear, 8-ounce gloves with very little cushion. I mean, one punch can end it all. But, you know, I asked him, well, so what did you think? He told me he felt the same thing. I guess because of the adrenaline, you know, you don't really feel the punches. But he said he felt the same as a pro than as an amateur.
Boxing, a lot of people don't get the definition of boxing. See, they want to see a fight. And a fight is 2 guys in the middle of the ring hitting each other. But what I like to do is I like to box. And boxing, the name of the game is to hit and not get hit. And that's my style, you know. It's a very, I guess, boring style to people who want to see a fight. But I want to leave this game untouched. You know, I want to be able to spend time with my family, see my family grow and everything. I don't want to be damaged, kind of like how Muhammad Ali was. You know, I feel real bad. Rest in peace, that world champion. But I want to leave this sport untouched, just like Floyd Mayweather.
Omar's my first professional boxer. Everybody in here are amateur boxers. I have a few pros that come and train here, but they're not my fighters. They're other coaches' fighters, and they pay me to train here. And Omar's my first of many that I'm training. what I want, I wanna, my pro fighters, I want them to be my fighters that I made, right? I have a few kids here that are in line. Omar's gonna open the doors to all of them, to all the kids that I have in this gym, all the kids that are gonna come and train with me, and if they're good enough, Omar's gonna have that door open for them, and it's our future's looking bright here at the gym, and Omar's a role model for everybody. All the kids want to be like him here, and he talks to them, he pushes them, he trains with them, and it's a nice feeling, and of course Omar's popularity is helping out the gym a lot, right? Have a lot of people here.
Give it up one more time for OMAR Juarez. You're not fast enough. You don't have to work at it. You look them straight in the eye and you tell them, watching. So much for having me.
Well, what I do is I do motivational speeches around here in the campuses around here in BISD, and I love what I do. What I do is I talk about the 6 key principles on how to achieve your goals and how I use those six key principles ever since I was a little boy. Those 6 key principles are no excuses, confidence, discipline, strategy, teamwork, and self-worth. I talk about all of those 6 key principles to the students, a lot of elementaries. We've almost done all of the elementaries, a lot of middle schools, and a couple of high schools. But soon I want to do all of the campuses and be titled as a motivational speaker. Yeah, when I'm done with boxing, I want to motivate athletes. That's really what I want to do.
Our gym is located on 2740 Ruben Torres here in Brownsville, Texas. And we offer, amateur boxing classes. I mean, cardio training for women, and we have moms here that bring their kids and train, and they train as well, right? So that's what we offer Monday to Thursday. But our main thing here is competition. Competition. I like the kids. I have a bunch of kids that compete.
Well, I tell them whatever it is they want to do in life, because I don't go to the schools to talk about boxing. I go to talk about goals academically, business-wise, whatever it is they want to do. I tell them you have to work hard, because hard work always pays off. No matter what you do, whether it's boxing, school, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a veterinarian, whatever it is you want to do, if you put in the hard work, it's going to pay off.
Brownsville's growing. Brownsville's growing. We have a few talented fighters here in Brownsville that are also, they're going to help grow, and I think Omar's going to be a big part of that, of helping the sport grow.
My goal in boxing to be greater than Muhammad Ali. That's the mindset that I have. I want to be greater than Muhammad Ali. I want to be known as the greatest of all time. I want to be in Boxing Hall of Fame, 6-time world champion. I want to be something that nobody has ever done. From Brownsville, Texas.
Just follow my son. Keep watching him. He's gonna shock the world one day.
Well, look out for me. I'm gonna become the very, very first world champion from Brownsville, Texas. OMAR El Relampago JUAREZ. Be ready.